Chosen One, you just obliterated their entire world with one move. One perfectly calculated, devastatingly brilliant move that left them speechless, scrambling, and completely unable to process what just happened. They're still talking about it, still trying to figure out how they missed the signs. You delivered a checkmate they will remember, forever. Chosen One. What you pulled off wasn't just impressive. It was psychological warfare at its finest. You were dancing to their tune for far too long, giving them the satisfaction of predictability, of knowing exactly what move you'd make next. They had scripted your role, directed your every step, confident you'd never deviate from their carefully crafted narrative. But here's what they didn't realize. Every moment they spent feeling superior, every assumption they made about your limitations, every time they dismissed you as harmless background noise, they were actually handing you the very tools you'd use to dismantle their entire worldview. They thought they were the chess masters, but you were studying a completely different game. While they were focused on moving pieces around the board, you were analyzing the players themselves. Their tells, their blind spots, their desperate need to feel in control, and that need for control, that was their fatal weakness. You see, Chosen One, people like them rely on predictability to maintain their sense of superiority. They need to believe they can read you, categorize you, and predict your responses. It's how they sleep at night, knowing that tomorrow you'll be exactly who they think you are. But you weren't gathering intelligence just for the sake of it. You were weaponizing their overconfidence, turning their arrogance into the very ammunition you'd use against them. What you mastered, and this is where your brilliance becomes truly terrifying, was the art of psychological camouflage. You let them see exactly what they expected to see while hiding your true capabilities in plain sight. Every time they explained something to you like you couldn't possibly understand, you absorbed not just the information, but their methodology, their blind spots, their weaknesses. Every condescending interaction became a masterclass in their vulnerabilities. They thought they were educating you, but you were actually studying them like a predator studies prey. But here's where your strategy became absolutely diabolical. You didn't just collect this information, you let them believe their assessments of you were accurate. You fed their illusions. You reinforced their false sense of security. You became the perfect pawn in their minds, which made your eventual revelation as the architect all the more psychologically devastating. While they were playing for immediate gratification, immediate validation, immediate control, you were developing something they could never possess: strategic patience. The kind of patience that allows you to endure being underestimated because you understand the compound interest of delayed revenge. This wasn't just waiting, this was strategic psychological endurance. Every slight, every dismissal, every moment. They treated you as less than you are. You were storing it all up like potential energy waiting to be released. And here's what they completely failed to understand. Patience isn't passive. Patience is predatory. It's the calm before the storm, the stillness before the strike, the quiet confidence of someone who knows exactly when and how to destroy their opponent's entire worldview. Your patience allowed you to see patterns they couldn't perceive. While they were reacting to surface-level events, you were tracking deeper currents, understanding motivations, mapping out the psychological landscape of everyone around you. You weren't just waiting for the right moment, you were creating it. There was a specific moment when everything crystallized, when you suddenly understood that you weren't the underdog in this story. You were the hidden protagonist who'd been gathering power while everyone else was fighting over illusions. This realization didn't come as a shock. It came as a recognition, like looking in a mirror and finally seeing yourself clearly. You understood that while they thought they were controlling the narrative, you had been designing the entire experience. From the beginning, Every move they made, every assumption they held, every strategy they employed had been factored into your larger design. They thought they were playing chess, but you had been architecting a game they couldn't even comprehend. This is the moment when victims become victors, when the underestimated become unstoppable, when the quiet ones reveal themselves as the most dangerous players in the room. And once you realized you were the architect, everything else became inevitable. What happened next was psychological warfare at its most sophisticated. You didn't just plan one move, you architected multiple scenarios, each one designed to expose different aspects of their false reality. Scenario 1. If they tried to dismiss your revelation, you had evidence so comprehensive, so undeniable, that their dismissal would only expose their own incompetence and desperation. Scenario 2. If they tried to minimize your achievement, you had prepared a demonstration so overwhelming that minimization would become impossible. They'd have no choice but to acknowledge your superiority. Scenario 3. If they tried to take credit or claim they always knew, you were capable of. This you had documentation so precise that their lies would be exposed immediately, revealing their true character to everyone watching. But here's where your strategy became truly masterful. Each scenario wasn't just designed to win, it was designed to reveal, to pull back the curtain on their manipulations, their schemes, their fragile sense of superiority. You weren't just planning to succeed, you were planning to expose them for exactly who they really were. Hold that thought for a moment. I need your attention for something very important. For the first time, we're revealing everything we know about personal power, healing yourself and healing others. No filters, no holding back. We have been quietly adding all the occult secrets we've collected over literal years of spiritual practice. The techniques and wisdom that transformed us from controlled pawns into conscious creators are now available to those ready to walk the same path. This is your invitation to join Obsidian Inner Order and support our platform so we can continue growing our megaphone to reach other chosen ones waiting for activation. By joining the Obsidian Inner Order, you're not just gaining access to forbidden knowledge, you're becoming part of a movement that's rewriting reality itself. It's a 360 win for all of us. Link is in the description. The day arrived, the moment when you finally delivered your perfectly calculated plot twist, and what happened next was a masterclass in psychological dominance. Surprise, chosen one, is a weapon few truly understand. It shatters the mental frameworks people rely on, forcing them to confront the unfamiliar, the unexpected, the reality they never prepared for. Your plot twist wasn't just unexpected, it was transformative. It ripped apart their old script and demanded a new narrative, one they weren't prepared to write. It forced them to think differently, to see differently, to question every assumption they'd made about you and about their own judgment. But here's what made your surprise truly devastating. It didn't allow for autopilot reactions or rehearsed responses. When you delivered your checkmate, you pulled them into the moment, stripped them of their preconceptions, and left them completely vulnerable. In those moments of vulnerability, they were no longer the ones holding power. You were, and the beauty of it. They handed you that power the second they underestimated you. What you revealed wasn't just your capabilities, you revealed the fragility of their entire worldview. Illusions, as it turns out, are incredibly fragile things, held together by assumptions and reinforced by repetition. They thought their narrative about you was unbreakable, that their expectations were law, that their assessment of your limitations was accurate. But your checkmate revealed the cracks in their foundation, showed them that their illusions were just that. Illusions with no real substance to back them up, and once an illusion is shattered, it can never be pieced back together. It's gone, replaced by a reality they can no longer ignore or deny. You didn't just prove them wrong, You exposed how wrong they were, how completely they had misread the situation, how thoroughly they had underestimated not just your capabilities, but your strategic intelligence. The look of shock on their faces wasn't just surprise, it was the realization that everything they thought they knew about power dynamics, about reading people, about control itself, had been based on false assumptions. Here's where your strategy became absolutely diabolical. You turned their greatest asset into their greatest weakness. Their expectations of you, their confidence in their ability to predict your behavior, their certainty about your limitations. You weaponized all of it. Expectations are a double-edged sword. They build a framework of predictability that people rely on to feel in control. But when you shatter those expectations with surgical precision, that same framework becomes a trap that imprisons them in their own arrogance. You use their expectations against them, dismantling their carefully crafted illusions with a precision they never anticipated. Their confidence became confusion. Their certainty became doubt. Their sense of superiority became a recognition of their own limitations. This wasn't just about proving them wrong. This was about revealing how their need to feel superior had blinded them to reality, how their arrogance had made them vulnerable, how their desire to control had actually put them at your mercy. What happened next was pure psychological devastation. You could literally watch their mental scripts disintegrating in real time. Every assumption they'd made about you, every prediction they'd relied on, every strategy they'd built around their assessment of your character, all of it became obsolete in an instant. When you disrupt someone's mental script, you leave an impression they can't erase. Surprises linger, they replay in the mind, forcing reflection, re-evaluation, and in many cases, regret. But your checkmate was more than just a surprise, it was a revelation. It forced them to confront not just how wrong they were about you, but how wrong they might be about everything else. It introduced an element of uncertainty into their worldview that they can never fully eliminate. They'll replay your move over and over, trying to find the signs they missed, the clues they ignored, the moments when they should have realized what you were truly capable of. But they'll never find them, because you never gave them those clues. You were too strategic, too patient, too intelligent to reveal your hand before the perfect moment. The most devastating part of your checkmate wasn't just that you won, it was that you revealed you had never been playing their game at all. While they thought you were a pawn, expendable and predictable, you were actually the architect, designing every aspect of their experience. This revelation doesn't just change how they see you, it changes how they see themselves. They have to confront the reality that while they thought they were the masterminds, they were actually the ones being manipulated. While they believed they were in control, they were actually following a script you had written. The game was never about the pieces, it was about the board. And you weren't just playing on their board, you were designing a completely different game, one they couldn't even begin to understand. When they finally realized this, when the full scope of your strategy became clear, their shock was almost comical. How had they missed it? How had they been so completely outplayed by someone they dismissed as harmless? The answer is simple: arrogance. Their need to feel superior had blinded them to the possibility that you might be operating at a level they couldn't perceive. Now they're afraid, chosen one. Not afraid of you personally, but afraid of their own judgment. Afraid of underestimating anyone ever again. Afraid that every interaction might contain hidden depths. They're too limited to perceive. Your checkmate revealed something about strategic intelligence that most people never encounter. True ruthlessness isn't cruelty, it's clarity. It's knowing when enough is enough, when the role you've been playing no longer serves you, when the time has come to reveal your true capabilities, regardless of how it makes others feel. Some might call you ruthless for shaking the foundation of their carefully built world. Maybe you are. But ruthlessness isn't a flaw when it's born from self-preservation, when it's the natural response to being systematically underestimated and dismissed. Better a villain with a purpose than a pawn with none. Your checkmate forced them to confront the reality that they're not the chess masters they thought they were, that their ability to read people, to assess threats, to maintain control is far more limited than they believed. And that realization is terrifying for people who've built their identity around being superior, around being in control, around always being the smartest person in the room. Here's where your psychological warfare becomes truly devastating. Success like yours has a network effect. Word spreads about what you accomplished, about how completely you outmaneuvered people who thought they had you figured out. Your checkmate becomes a case study, a story that gets told and retold, each telling adding to your reputation as someone who should never be underestimated. People who weren't even there start treating you differently, approaching you with a new level of respect and caution. But more importantly, you've changed. Once you've operated at this level of strategic intelligence, once you've experienced the satisfaction of perfect psychological warfare, you can never go back to playing small. You've tasted what it feels like to be truly dangerous, to wield a kind of power that comes from superior intelligence and perfect timing. And that taste is addictive. Every future interaction is now filtered through this new understanding of what you're capable of. Every relationship, every opportunity, every challenge is approached with the confidence of someone who has proven they can completely dismantle anyone who underestimates them. But here's what's really terrifying for anyone who might consider crossing you. Your checkmate wasn't your peak, it was your awakening. You're evolving in real time, becoming more strategically sophisticated, more psychologically astute, more capable of reading and manipulating situations to your advantage. You're starting to see patterns everywhere now. Psychological vulnerabilities that used to be invisible are practically glowing with neon signs. People's motivations, their fears, their desperate needs are becoming increasingly transparent to you. Your mind is working differently now, more strategically, more dimensionally. You're not just thinking 3 moves ahead, you're thinking in psychological layers that most people can't even perceive. And the most dangerous part, you're enjoying it. The intellectual satisfaction of outmaneuvering people who thought they were superior to you is becoming your new normal. The rush of psychological dominance is replacing any desire to be liked or accepted by people too limited to appreciate your true capabilities. You've evolved from someone who delivers checkmates to someone who redesigns the entire game. And that evolution from tactical brilliance to psychological mastery, that's what separates the legends from everyone else. Years from now, they'll still remember your checkmate, not because it was shocking, though it was, but because it forced them to confront their own limitations, their own arrogance, their own capacity for catastrophic misjudgment. Your moment has become a permanent part of their psychological landscape. Every time they think they have someone figured out, they'll remember you. Every time they feel confident in their ability to read people, they'll remember how completely wrong they were about you. But more importantly, they'll remember the feeling of being psychologically dismantled by someone they'd dismissed as harmless. They'll remember what it felt like to realize they'd been outplayed so completely that they couldn't even understand the game you were playing. Your checkmate didn't just win you one battle, it established you as someone who operates at a level they can't reach, can't predict, and certainly can't control. Your checkmate wasn't just a moment of revelation, it was a declaration of war against anyone who might consider underestimating you again. You've established a new reality where psychological warfare isn't just an option, it's your specialty. People approach you differently now. They speak more carefully. They think twice before dismissing your ideas. They're more curious about your opinions, and more respectful of your intelligence, not because they want to be, but because they have to be. You've trained them to take you seriously by showing them the consequences of not taking you seriously. You've demonstrated that underestimating you comes at their own psychological peril. But here's the most beautiful part. You didn't just change how they see you, you changed how you see yourself. You're no longer the person who tolerates being underestimated. You're no longer someone who plays small to make others comfortable. You've given yourself permission to operate at your true level of psychological sophistication, and the results speak for themselves. Chosen One, what you've accomplished goes beyond just delivering a checkmate. You've rewritten the fundamental rules of how people interact with you. You've established yourself as someone who doesn't just participate in psychological games. You design them. Your victory created a ripple effect that extends far beyond the immediate situation. It's changing how people think about power, about intelligence, about the dangers of underestimating quiet competence. You've become a living reminder that the most dangerous players are often the ones you don't see coming. That's psychological. Warfare isn't about volume or aggression. It's about intelligence, patience, and perfect timing. And here's what makes you truly terrifying. This was just your opening move. Your checkmate was the announcement that you're ready to play at a level that most people can't even comprehend, let alone compete with. The question now isn't whether you can deliver another psychological masterpiece. It's what kind of psychological architecture you're going to build next. What mental frameworks you're going to dismantle. What illusions you're going to shatter. Because Chosen Ones don't just deliver checkmates. They revolutionize the entire concept of what psychological dominance looks like. They don't just win. They redefine what winning means. Your checkmate was legendary. But your next move? That's going to be historically devastating. You're starting to see patterns everywhere now. Opportunities that used to be invisible are practically glowing with neon signs. Problems that used to seem impossible are revealing their solutions to you almost automatically. It's like your victory upgraded your entire operating system. But here's what's really incredible. You're not just getting better at the game, you're starting to change the rules entirely. Where other people see limitations, you see possibilities. Where they see obstacles, you see stepping stones. Where they see endings, you see new beginnings. Your mind is working differently now, faster, more strategically, more dimensionally. You're not just thinking 3 moves ahead anymore, you're thinking in entirely different directions that other people can't even perceive. And the best part, this evolution is accelerating. Every day you're becoming more formidable, more insightful, more capable of achieving things that seemed impossible just weeks ago. Your checkmate wasn't your peak. It was your awakening. People around you are starting to notice this transformation too. They can sense that something fundamental has shifted in you. You carry yourself differently. You speak with more authority. You approach challenges with a quiet confidence that's absolutely magnetic. You've become someone who doesn't just deliver checkmates. You've become someone who redesigns the entire chessboard. And that evolution from tactical brilliance to strategic mastery, that's what separates the legends from everyone else. Your journey is just beginning, Chosen One, and where you're headed next is going to blow everyone's mind, including your own.